Okay, so back to the first. Okay, the thing is is I didn't move, and yet the virus is coming out from the inside of my system. So so like right here, right? And when I was younger, I used to play with frogs and then all these viruses and all these diseases and stuff. And it finds a way in your body to to stay in there. Okay, so I'm shocked I look this way because, but the virus is airborne. Okay, and the guy that was here did not drop the virus off, or the guy didn't, oh, the guy didn't wear a mask, or he spit, or this. No, the virus was it's in the land. The land gets moved, right? You move something, kind of like a sheet, right? There's a sheet, and then there's dust, and you rile it up, and it all goes up in the air, and then you get the virus. Now the virus goes in the body, right? So you inhale it, and then what happens is, and I've tried everything. Like, I'm trying everything, but there's the cure for this virus is actually, it's it's going to end up to be cleaning the land, and I'm talking like militarizing everything to where people won't have, there will be no options for, oh, I get to give a gift of a little, I'm gonna go make cupcakes and take them to my neighbor's house, or I'm gonna buy my friend a trinket from China. Okay, it's that those days are over. Okay, and so that's something that people have to accept with all the souvenir shops. I know those were good times for some people. To other people, they probably have bad memories. It's like, I remember that souvenir. I stepped on it and broke my fucking foot. Okay, so you think of the bad things when changes are made in in societies, when changes are made economically, when changes are made socially and psychologically. You all have to the remember the bad things about those kind of times. Okay, and then, but the virus, okay, we're talking about spores. Okay, so even if I don't, my blanket, if I don't dry it completely, then I inhale the spores, the mildew, and the mold. Okay, I'm in a very unhealthy area. That's why well, I kind of tell everyone, like, stay away, but apparently, it's just like, anyway. And so things need to be cleaned up. Um, I I'm telling you all this now. If the bugs and the pesticides are the biggest problem. Okay, so we are in dire straits, so much to where my own father, like, sometimes I wonder, like, why do people leave food on the stove? Doesn't it cause more bugs and cockroaches and stuff? But honestly, it's a trade-off. It's like, well, if I leave MSG on, somewhere, or if I leave salt, then snails won't come around, or, and so people leave certain things around, not to be dirty, but actually to try and keep other things away. And so it's kind of like, a mouse, like a piece of candy. Okay, and there's trade-offs for everything. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying everything to help with this, because it's this has been such a problem. Like, I I'm really shocked that now it's a big uproar. And what I think has happened, has been very heartbreaking for everyone, um, which was the finding out of the human population not being in correlation with what the internet has been saying. And so the numbers were put into a system. in on the internet. Now, what a lot of people don't know about the internet and computer systems and information is that the internet is the people. Okay, so people put information into a computer system that is, and how accurate is that information, and what is it doing to our mentalities and our states of mind that correlate with our states of our world around us. Because the problem is that the what happened is the internet um, got into the schooling systems, and they didn't separate the edu education at the and dot com, right? Is it dot communism, dot commercial? Is it short for communal? I mean, so and 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 so the edu, right? Short for education. Um, that that was that was very well done. It was governmentally protected. .gov, the same thing. It was governmentally watched, governmentally protected. The problem is that the people became the government. Okay, the people mixed in, the governmental officials mixed in with the people. Okay, and the people mixed in with the governmental officials. Now there were gaps. There were classism gaps and financial gaps, family gaps. There's reasons for people not to be together, okay, based on a lot more than just love interests or and stuff and relationships like that. There were people placed purposely with large gaps so that this kind of stuff could be monitored, and that the military, even the military guys, wouldn't fall in love with someone and get intermixed with all the local people and everything, and saying, well, do they know that I cheated on my wife? Is this my wife's restaurant? Is she gonna spit in my food and kill me with her disease? like like is this really worm food? Okay, because people are using bodily functions to hurt and harm other people. Okay, and so the even packaged food. Okay, you guys can open up a packaged sandwich. Okay, but know that that packaged sandwich, where did it come from? Who did you do wrong to? And who are these innocent people getting affected by those people who made such major mistakes in their lives? And I'm not talking, oh, I punched, I pinched my arm, or I pinched my friend's arm, or little things. I'm talking like murder, okay? And the thing is, there's a difference between murder and actually euthanasia and actually killing, okay? Murder versus killing, two different things, okay? Murder is painful, okay? To be murdered is painful, okay? To be killed is a quick death. It's like killed, okay? But it's the deceasing and the seizing of these bodies in which is the main concern for everybody. My main concern for my president was that he was going to go, and hopefully I'm hoping that everything is looked at lesson wise, because you get taken away, you get put in a room, they close the door, there's no way out, the doors are sealed shut, they turn off the lights. What do? Okay? It's even if you're in there alone, what do when you are going to be slowly dying a horrible, painful death? Okay, and so everyone needs to be on surface level. People need to not be the whole shame thing is one of the major problems in society. Oh, I can't. I'm sorry, but to cover my breasts when I need sunshine and vitamin D so they won't get all saggy, and so they can air dry a little bit, okay? And to have some exposure to sunshine should not be an act of shame, okay? That is how to avoid cancer, okay? So everyone has to take that into consideration and say, do you want to be around cancer? Do you guys want cancer? Or can we go ahead and say, you know what, let's control ourselves and not, and mentally power through and control our minds along with our actions, okay? When seeing a naked person. And so I'm coming across a lot of different types of people and personalities lately in which need to be monitored. They are on the loose, and they are more dangerous than the spider next door. Like people have to control these type of mentalities that the internet and videos, because uh, even like today I heard a song, and it was literally, it was porn. It was they were speaking and saying words, and they were it's pornography is what it is. And yet it is open to the public to listen to. Some people don't have choices to hear or not to hear. There's no choice there. If someone's listening to it, the kid gets brainwashed. They all get brainwashed, and they get brainwashed not necessarily by what to do, but they're getting desensitized, and to where it's not a big deal when something like that is said, when it really is, because it controls people's actions. And so um, the the saddening part that happened in our society is that a lot of corporations went under. A lot of people um, found out what other societies or neighbors right next door were doing with the healthcare system and with human beings. As an example, being placed into a room and turn the lights off, and forgotten about. So what I'm working on and would like to work on more is keeping track of people, but with good intent, because we're down to the and I know it can happen, okay? I know that things can be foreseen, and I know, like, if a kid drops an ice cream and NASA from a satellite says, great, I'm reading a signal that a kid just dropped his ice cream, and then they can send someone to clean it up, okay? But that's when we have to have skill, coordination, and as well as I'm it's just we are in such a bad state, just across the board with health. Now back to the virus really quick. So the virus, it goes up in the air, okay? It gets all, which, you know it's so funny because they the virus goes around the air, okay? And if you already have the virus, the good news is that you can fight the virus, okay? Um, the bad news is that things are, like, the virus is in the carpet, okay? It's on shoes. It's We're talking about fecal matter. Like, the viruses grow, okay, but they also can die, and so, or can be killed. Now it's the smearing. It's kind of like, are we going to let's talk about the land. Are we going to, you know, clean the land and just kind of like smear it like a countertop and just kind of rub everything in? Or are we actually going to take action and literally do like a cleansing of, underneath the waters and everything? Um, the beaches, it's the beaches here are a distraction. Okay, so I went to Chicago. I was on the other side, and I said, "This is it was all diseased." The whole thing, and it goes into weather. It goes into weather control. But we as human beings can control the weather. It's not just, oh, God is, sending a jet and controlling the weather. No, we as human beings can control the weather. We can control our water systems. We can control temperature, okay? This is shown, this has been proven. I mean, look at how great they do with ice, okay? And clean ice and everything. And so what everyone needs to be doing right now with even sports, even walking, okay? People can't just be running around town, speeding around, running errands. That's why the banks are shutting, everything is shutting down because everyone is saying, stand still, stand down. We don't have, we can't be going at such a fast pace as human beings anymore. You can't be taking care of, and all my advisors, my leaders, my professors, everyone in my life said make it stop. They said put an end to this. They said you cannot be a mother and a daughter and a granddaughter taking care of 5 kids and a babysitter and have a full-time job and be a student. You cannot be doing all those things. The quality of a human being will drop drastically if you try to take on all those things. Even for myself, like that's one of my biggest downfalls is that I try to do everything and it lowers my quality as a human. So I strive the hardest I could be, the best I could be in every area in which I was in, placed, and all that kind of stuff. And so it's and human beings are running human beings down into the ground based on the standards that have been set. The tone and the standard that I set, I hit my max and my plateau, and I thought it was well earned. But apparently, some people got a little bit jealous. Jealousy has taken over our jealousy took over our world, and that's what I have the biggest issue and problem with, especially when people don't know the full story of a human being. No one can keep track of what everyone has been through, even if their stories are known. Okay, no one can keep track of someone's childhood, even if there's 10 kids and you ask me what those 10 kids have been through in their childhood, even if I grew up next door or grew up with them in the same house, there are not enough memory. I want to say there are memory bands. There are not enough. That what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, there's not enough memory for a human being to, especially when it comes to bad stories and bad things that people have been through. So a person gets in a car accident and it's perception. This is common sense. Person gets into a car accident and then they sue the car company in which they go apply for a job to work for someday. Is that private interest? So everything's connected. I come from a mentality and a state of mind of you know, everything's connected, and so the skeletal system is connected to the neurological system. So everything is kind of connected. So that's kind of a Russian mentality, I should say. And I just, but back to the disease and the virus it's been around, so that's no surprise, and we're still around. But the lifespan of human beings is not going to be, it's not going to be good. And so even if you're a baby, if you're a 1 year old and you have a quality, carefree, no pain and all that kind of stuff, I want my pain receptors removed, or snipped, just I got shots in the back of my head, and I'm just like, just snip whatever it is so I don't feel anything. But then again, how are we going to have those people to tell us and say, hey, do you not see that? Do you not smell it? And all that kind of stuff. And I understand about what it was that everyone else sees it but you. And that's fine, but it has to be given in detail of what it is that I'm not seeing. Because if you just say, well, everyone sees what? Okay? And so I'm detail oriented, and so when if people approach me with a problem or issue in which I have, they better have backup and they better have details of what exactly it is, because if it's a broad spectrum of, oh, everyone sees you got so much money and yet you lay in bed, okay, that's a broad spectrum. Why am and if so, then get the proper care for me if it's that big of a problem. And so the even the issue I have now physically, it's my whole life has been physical pain. And so for me to actually have a smile on my face, I know why everything happened and which did. Um, I have done what I have done, and I have powered through what I could to carry somewhat of a quality of life and to have somewhat of a beautiful mentality on not just myself or about myself or my memories or the people that I have been with, but to actually have an outlook of the way that I presented myself and to understand why people present themselves the way that they do, in certain situations, even if they're hurting inside and everything. So I gotta go because my arm's falling asleep.